action.
Who is the little girl in the background? Okay.
And I'm gonna say it's my
It's your friend.
No, it's my best friend. She's every day with me.
Yes, it's your best friend.
So I'm gonna say.
Okay, let's do this. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening.
Hi guys, I'm Megan and I'm really with my cousin. He's really busy with other videos. He's really busy with this. So I want to say like, share.
Not yet.
So if you want to see more videos, you need to watch the 2 channels of him. So
Okay, not
good
yet.
luck.
Not yet. Okay, that's sweet of you to do that. My name is Emery. We're gonna do a reaction to Getting Lost at Camp Geronimo, and that's from the ODD1SOUT. I have watched videos of him before. Have you ever seen videos of him before?
No.
You've never seen this character before?
No.
Okay, cool.
I never watched this movie. If you're watching a movie, I'm just watching my own movies. So I'm watching.
You're watching your own movies, okay?
Which movie I'm watching?
Frozen?
Okay. Oh yes, Frozen 2 is good. Oh my God. I'm just.
You love
Yeah,
Frozen,
yes.
exactly. So
And
yeah.
I like the Trolls too.
Yeah, the Trolls is pretty good as well.
If they eating, you're putting some gum in your ear.
And then putting it in your mouth. Yeah, that is
disgusting.
yeah, that is gross. That's really gross. Yeah, we're gonna do a reaction to Getting Lost at Camp Geronimo, and this is a video from the ODD1SOUT. Let's get into it. Are you ready?
One. I'm so busy with the other video. You said 3, 2, 1.
Let's go. Yes, exactly.
Okay, let's go. Can I do it?
Okay, you can do it.
If you haven't read Lord of the Flies, you're probably gonna have to in school one day. Let me give you an abridged version for when that time eventually comes. The Lord of the Flies is a book about a bunch of little British boys who got marooned on a deserted island, and the book tells the story about what the boys do to survive the elements, but also themselves. Within like a week on the island, the boys devolve into complete savages, covering themselves in face paint and killing a piggy. I said too much. And when I read the book in high school, I thought having the boys turn savage so quickly wasn't all that accurate. As a former young boy myself, I was insulted that William Golding thought that us little boys were so heartless. But then I remembered all the things that happened at my scout camp, Camp Geronimo, and I realized that Lord of the Flies is still inaccurate. The boys would have gone savage way faster. Listen, I'm a cautious person when I'm hanging around the guys. In PE, the other boys would be playing this game called Quarters, where you'd fling quarters at people's knuckles until they bled. But I wouldn't play that game because it's dangerous and I'm a loser. Or when I was at a party and someone wanted to play the knife game to show off how good their hand-eye coordination was, I wouldn't play that game either because I needed my hands to draw. But something about being with the guys in the middle of the woods, I would live on the edge. Every summer, our troop stayed at this camp called Camp Geronimo, named after the Apache Indian who was the first person to yell Geronimo while doing a sick backflip into his pool. One time, me and a couple other boys, I don't remember who started it, but we were playing with matches, and okay, I know what you're thinking, but nothing bad happened, okay? We just accidentally lit some dried bushes on fire and it got somewhat out of control. But it's okay, it's fine, okay? We told the scoutmaster that there was a loose fire spreading faster than we could put it out, and he got everyone in the troop to stomp on it, and we never got in trouble. What were we doing with the matches? Oh, we were just lighting them and throwing them at each other.
Rescue me.
Anyway, about 30 other scout troops attended Camp Geronimo, and we would spend a whole week sleeping in tents and earning merit badges. Most of the camp honestly felt like school, but outside. Like, when you got to the camp, you were given a schedule of classes, and for the next 7 days, you would go to those classes and learn and fill out packets and sometimes even have homework, which probably helped us not devolve into savages. I mean, sure, the classes weren't as boring as English or geometry. Geronimo's classes were wilderness survival, kayaking, or bear self-defense. Earning a merit badge required 2 things. The first thing, you had to write stuff down. Name and point out the major parts of a kayak. Kayak. Explain to your counselor the hazards you're most likely to encounter while participating in kayaking activities. Bears. And the second part of the merit badge, you had to actually go out and do stuff. Capsize the kayak, swim it and the paddle to the shore, and if you don't make it, the bears will get you. I never got the kayaking merit badge.
Exactly.
You had to be at least 12 to go to Geronimo,
Yeah, exactly.
but you could go as an 11-year-old if a parent was coming with you.
Ooh.
And at the time, my dad was a camp counselor. My birthday was May 14th, and Geronimo was at the end of May, so I barely made the cutoff as the youngest person going. Geronimo was a big step from spending 3 days at Cub Scout day camp to spending a week in the wilderness. What made it worse was I was going to be spending a whole week with all the mean older scouts and my dad. There was this one scout named Paul. When I was 11, he was 15. So
Exactly.
naturally, he would pick on me and make fun of me. Ha ha, I get it. I'm small, so I suck. But silver
come
lining,
on.
he got fatter. And a couple years ago, he reached out to me, and I had been
Great
doing
guy.
the whole YouTube thing for a while. He was
Well,
off
yeah, he
starting his
shouldn't
own
have been
business,
bullying,
and he
that's
wanted
why.
to do some
Yeah,
business
please let me.
opportunity
Yeah,
with
use
me.
me.
And I just said, hey, do you want to do my merch? So now he works for me.
Yeah.
So kids, if you ever
You
have
shouldn't be a
bullies,
bully, that's
just
me.
become successful on YouTube and then hire them to sell
This
plushies.
merchandise
He's actually a
should be
really good
toys.
merch guy. He gets all my stuff into these retail stores. So if you see a floof plushie at Hot Topic, you can say, thanks, Paul. Bullies really do make a difference. Anyway, self-promotion aside, my first
how
year at
little you
Geronimo,
said.
I was a little bit on the very young side compared to everyone else. I was taking a
Yeah,
class
yeah.
called orienteering. The class taught us how to read maps and use a compass. And one day it was time for our class to go on a scavenger hunt thing. We were given a list of places we had to go to, and we were supposed to use our compass and count our paces to get to each
Scavenger
specific
hunts are fun.
location. Then when we got to our destination, there would be a marker somewhere, and we would have to write down what that marker was. There were 10 different markers that we had to find, and the course was supposed to lead us in a circle. The leader who was in charge of our group and the compass was an older scout named Paul. It wasn't the merch guy Paul, but I think it would be funnier if it
My
was.
name is-
Our group set off to the first location. Having a compass and counting your steps isn't the most accurate way of navigation, but we weren't allowed to use Google Maps, so. When we got to the spot, we had to look around for a little bit to find the marker, but we eventually found it, and then we were off to the second location. This time, the marker was harder to find. The spot we landed on was pretty far from where the marker actually was. At the third location, we couldn't find the marker.
Yeah.
But we did see this
That's
reflective
probably
sign
some
on a tree, and we figured that's what the marker was supposed to be, so we wrote it down. At this point, I decided to grab my own compass and give it a try. My compass pointed in a direction that was a little bit off from Paul's direction. Not by a whole lot, but just enough. But remember, I was the little kid. Nothing I said mattered. Paul said things to me like, oh, you don't know how to use a compass. I bet yours is broken. I'm never going to work for you one day. And you know what? I believed him. This
Hey,
guy
driver.
is
Driver's
15 years
permit,
old.
that's
Do you know
funny.
how wise and experienced he is? So we kept going and struggling. We used anything we found as a marker. Some piece of trash, it's a marker. Hey, this tree has an A and an M carved into a heart.
Yeah.
Kind of weird that it's at an all boys. Do you think that it's a marker?
Oh, way
Eventually, we
too
all had to
early.
admit
Oh
that we
my
were
goodness,
completely
that is
lost.
not
The other
good.
boys told Paul to hand over his compass, and Paul reached into his pocket,
Way too
pulled out
early.
his
That's for
compass,
adults.
and 2 buzz magnets. Buzz magnets are magnets that are shaped like a bullet, and you can throw them up in the air, and they make this cool
Yeah, I
buzzing
remember
sound.
those.
They
I
sold them
remember
at the
those
camp
buzz
store,
magnets.
so that's why Paul had them. And everyone immediately figured out
used
why
to
we were
play with them
lost.
when I was
For
a
those
kid.
of you who don't know how compasses and magnets work, I don't know either. I think it has something to do with them coming from outer space. A compass is supposed to point to the magnetic North Pole, and a magnet will mess up the direction a compass is
Yeah, I think
supposed
I
to
saw
point
that
in.
before.
Paul's compass wasn't
Weird.
pointing to his pants the whole time. We would have been suspicious if that had happened. But because his compass was right next to a magnet, it got uncalibrated, and then we all got lost in the woods and died. And that's why I don't have an orienteering merit badge. I was upset because my compass probably wasn't broken, but I didn't stand up for myself. Because I don't do that. I have more Camp Geronimo stories, like the time me and my friend threw a Ziploc bag full of water at the older kids' lean-to, and then I ran away so fast that I threw up. But I already did a video about that, and it's 5 years old, and it's very bad, and you're not allowed to watch it.
No,
So
now
the
I
moral
wanna
of this
see it.
video
Well,
is,
that's the
just
point,
because you're
obviously.
young doesn't mean you're stupid. But it does mean you make bad videos on YouTube. Also, check your pockets before going orienteering. Going orienteering. Sounds like a tongue twister. Going orienteering. Going orienteering.
Yeah.
Going orienteering. Well, that was my Camp Geronimo
See,
experience.
he
It was a
worked with
lot of fun.
animators,
I wonder
and
if the
they
camps are
worked
open
together
right now,
to
if people would
make
have to
all
be
these videos and
quarantined
stuff.
inside the tents the whole time.
Go
I
subscribe
bet that
to
would be
his
pretty
channel, guys.
intense.
He's great. Go subscribe
As
to
you've
his
seen on the
channel.
news, a lot of events are getting canceled or postponed. which include
He
my
is a-
events.
Yeah, that's
So
the guy, yeah, that's
if you
him.
want to see updates
Yeah,
to
he's
the
the
events
one
I'm
that
going
makes
to,
the
then follow
videos
me on
and
Twitter and Instagram because that's
The
where I'm going to be
animation.
posting updates.
What?
A lot of
Mine
events
is-
have been
okay, so-
postponed until further notice, so
Right, he
you
says
just have to wait
You
and see when
don't,
everything
uh,
dies down
allow-
and we can go outside again.
I forgot
As
what his
always, a
name
huge
is.
shout out to my awesome
What's-
team
is
for
it-
working on this video,
not
especially
Kevin, it's
considering
something
how
else.
crazy the world has been recently. Everyone has pulled together and all worked on this video from home, which is
I wonder
pretty
what-
normal actually for us.
Yes,
On that
we'll get
note,
through this.
we're all in this together.
Stay home, be
we'll
safe,
get through
wash
this
your hands, guys.
and wash your
What
hands.
is-
So, what did you think about this video?
this green he says wisdom. He says wash your hands, be safe.
Very nice, nice.
Gel.
So the Lord of the Flies book, I haven't read it. I was supposed to read it in junior high. No, it was high school. I was supposed to read it in high school, but I didn't read it. I basically kind of, somebody else read it, and then they explained it to me. Okay, they explained it to me. They told me about it and stuff. Yeah, it turns out it's a good book. So I'm kind of. It kind of sucks,
a
and I'm
book
kind
of
of
this-
disappointed that I didn't read the book. What were you gonna say?
I want to say, he says he's a loser. I thought he's not a loser. He says the right thing.
Yeah, exactly. He's not a loser. He's just kidding. He's just kidding around. But
Some head is so round.
yeah,
something like
it's
this.
like
And he
oval.
don't have a hair.
Yeah. He has yeah. Sometimes
And
he
he
has
don't have
hair in it.
fingers, so guys.
Yeah, not really. No. He
And-
has like an oval head. Yeah.
Round.
Round
like
shape.
this.
Yeah.
If I'm in camping, I'm not gonna do homework. I'm saying
Yeah, exactly.
no.
Who does
Who does
homework at camp? Yeah, exactly.
You need to relax with your family.
Yeah, with your friends and with other teens. I hope you guys enjoyed this.
Video.
Yes, exactly. I hope you guys enjoyed this
short
video
movie.
or this, basically short film, right, from ODD1SOUT. And I really enjoyed it as well. I'm looking forward to seeing more of his videos. And
Okay, so you need to subscribe. And he's gonna put more and more videos, and then you're looking at the video.
I swear, I never told her to say these things, but she already knows them. Yeah, like, share, and subscribe. Tell a friend about it. Watch this video. Sometimes I hover over a channel and I don't subscribe immediately.
So I wanna say to everybody, I really enjoy everything.
Yeah,
And
they
if
already know that.
If I'm just gonna watch them, I'm gonna throw factly on that screen, and I'm so annoyed.
Yeah. So
I need to say pets down. I need to so there's light in that, and I'm afraid of light.
okay, cool. Or can I talk now?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So sometimes even I hover over a channel. So if you don't feel like subscribing yet, that's cool. But if you want to subscribe, go ahead. There's a link in the description box down below, and there are other trailer reactions, reviews, and even breakdowns that I've done. There is a link to my other channel, which is called Emirates Healthy. You can check that out as well, and stay tuned for more videos.
Yeah, and wash your hands, stay warm.
Yeah, until the next time.
Bye. And notifications. You understand?